It's the 3 on PLAXtv.
Yeah, baby. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy PLAX. I am here with a brand new segment. I'm also in a undisclosed location, and I can't tell you where I'm at. But I'm here with a brand new segment. Really, I guess, really more so a return of the 3. Now, I doubt any of you know this, but some people may. I think, when was it? Maybe 2019? It might have been 2019, possibly. I think it was. In 2019, I had a podcast, another podcast, not the R&P podcast, but another podcast called The 3 Podcast. I only did about 7 episodes. I had a couple guests here and there, but The 3 Podcast was a podcast where I would just talk about basketball-related things, mostly NBA stuff. If you do some digging, you could probably find the 6 or 7 episodes on SoundCloud somewhere. And I enjoyed it. I stopped. I can't remember exactly why I stopped, but I do remember not having the best audio equipment. My laptop wasn't the best. I wasn't doing it quality. You know what I'm saying? Not at the quality that you guys see the R&P podcast at. So I learned a lot from doing the 3, and it helped me when R&P came along. You know what I mean? But also with all my other stuff, like being more serious with PLAXtv and all that. But I'm bringing it back, not as a podcast, but as a segment every Friday on PLAXtv. So every Friday on PLAXtv, you will get an episode of the 3 where I will talk about basketball and basketball-related things. And shout out to Merle for the jingle that you heard in the beginning of the video. Huge shout out to him. I love him. That's my boy. I hit him up. He was like, yo, I need a jingle for this. And he got it to me like 2 days later. Like, that's just the GOAT. Just the GOAT. But in today's video, first ever return episode of the 3, I will be discussing the new look Brooklyn Nets. And I like to start off by saying I love it. I love it. I know some of my buddies will know. You guys might not know, but maybe if you listen to R&P, you might know. I was miserable the entire beginning part of the season. Last season, too. I was miserable. I was miserable because I am a Nets fan, and we were being held captive by 2 of the greatest basketball-playing prima donnas in NBA history. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Also Ben Simmons and James Harden, but those guys were interchangeable. So, a few years ago, we had a team led by D'Angelo Russell, who is killing it for the Lakers right now. Like I told people he probably would. We had a team led by D'Angelo Russell. We had Jared Allen, who was killing it in Cleveland. We had Karis LeVert. We had Spencer Dinwiddie, who's back now. Who else do we have? Damn, I can't remember who else we had. But we had a good team. We had a very good team. We were so good that D'Angelo led us to a 7th and 6th seed. It wasn't just him, obviously. It was a team effort, but he was our best player. He led us to that. And I loved that team. Were we built to win a championship? No, not at all. But if you added 1 or 2 stars to that team, we definitely could have won. Definitely 1 or 2 stars that wanted to win. 1 or 2 stars that were actual leaders. 1 or 2 stars that care about basketball, like that truly care about basketball and organizations. We definitely could have won a championship. But Nets ownership decided to go a different route. They decided to go the win now route, which is understandable. A lot of teams do that, which caused them to sign Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, which I was somewhat happy about, but I was also sad about because I was quoted saying, you can ask my dad and some of my friends, I was quoted saying that whoever gets Kyrie and KD, if they get them together, they're going to be in trouble. And then we got them. But I tried to be hopeful. I was like, well, KD's hurt, but we can make something happen. We can make something happen. We put the right pieces around them. They both have championships, even though they're questionable. Well, even though KD's 2 championships are questionable, and Kyrie was mostly carried by LeBron, even though he did help tremendously. We can still make something happen with this team. They just gotta want it. And then the pandemic hit. We got KD and Kyrie back, and the pandemic hit. The pandemic hit, which caused Kyrie Irving to choose not to play because he didn't want to get vaccinated. That was his own choice. Individually, I'm not going to get too political on here. Individually, I respect his choice. But as a Nets fan, it pissed me off. I can't lie. Like, I just can't lie. I can't lie at all. Like, his choice pissed me off royally. Individually, taking me being a Nets fan out of it, I respected his choice. It's his body. He decided that he didn't want to do that. I respected that. whether you agree with him or not, it's his choice. You see what I'm saying? The problem was that it put us in a predicament. Then I believe somewhere in there, KD gets hurt again or something like that. And then, we finally figure out a way to get the team together. We get Harden and stuff like that. Harden bullshits around, and he decides to leave. We get Ben Simmons, which was also another bad idea, but we get Ben Simmons. I'm jumping around a bit. That's not the exact timeline. I'm just going straight off of memory, what I could put together. Then what? Then Kyrie decides to tweet a anti-Semitic book on Twitter, and that also gets him suspended for a period of time, which puts us in another predicament. Somewhere in there, KD gets hurt again as well. And then we jump forward to the All-Star break, and we trade them for Mikal Bridges. We trade Kyrie Irving to Dallas for Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie. Dorian Finney-Smith, who I made fun of when we traded for him, but he's actually been playing very well. And we traded Kevin Durant for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and some other assets. And you know what? From the outside looking in, we got fleeced. We lost 2 superstar level players. We didn't get like a whole bunch back for them, and we look like we ass out. And in some ways we did get fleeced. They did fleece us, but I love this team though. This new team. Mikal Bridges, luckily, in Phoenix, with Devin Booker and Chris Paul getting hurt so much, he had to become offensive threat. He had to be the number one guy some nights, a lot of nights, because Chris Paul and Devin Booker had a lot of time out this season. So luckily he's taken that and he's brought that to the Nets. So he's kind of become our de facto number one guy for now. Cam Thomas, while we were figuring out the trades and all that, he just elevated to a brand new level. I think he scored 40 like 3 games straight or something like that. And honestly, I wish Cam Thomas was getting more playing time. I understand he's not the greatest defender, but offensively, the kid is sick. The kid is fucking sick. And then Spencer Dinwiddie, a guy that I've loved for a while now, since he was with us the first time. He was our backup point guard next to D'Angelo Russell when we were a 6 seed a couple years back. And to have him back to be the leader of the team is like poetic almost. It feels right because he's just a leader, man. He's not the greatest point guard ever or anything like that, but he's just so fucking solid. He plays defense. He can take it over down the stretch. He can score regularly. He can get 30 if you need him to. He can get 20. If you need him to get 30 points, he could do that. If you need him to get 12 assists, he could do that. If you need him to get stops, he could do that. If you need him to just lead the team, he can do that. And that's why I really love Spencer Dinwiddie. Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton has just been playing amazing basketball all season. His best basketball. Almost like kind of been in the Defensive Player of the Year talks. Leading the league in field goal percentage. Just playing hard. Getting rebounds. Just playing super hard. Cam Johnson, somebody I've been a fan of since the playoffs where Phoenix went to the finals. I've been a fan of Cam Johnson since then because Cam Johnson, under the radar, played amazing that entire playoff. And he's consistently just been getting better. So I'm glad we have him. I don't know what's going to happen with him in the offseason. I hope we bring him back because, one, him and Mikal are best friends. And two, they play well together. And he's also like a hybrid 2, 3, 4. Like he could play the 2 guard. He could play the small forward. He could play the power forward. Maybe not. He can't play 5, but he could play 3 positions. He's a good defender. He can score. He gets hot sometimes. So I hope that we could keep him. And just to support and cast, like Joe Harris is back healthy and Patty Mills is there if we need him. I just really love this team. And for the first time in a couple years with Kyrie and KD, for the first time in a couple years, I feel comfortable. I feel safe with this team. I feel safe. I feel protected. I feel like everybody wants to be there. I feel like everybody wants to play. Obviously, we still have Ben Simmons, and that's something we got to figure out. We're probably going to buy him out in the offseason, if not, try to trade him. If we can't trade him, then buy him out, one of the two. I don't think he should stay. I honestly don't think Ben Simmons should even be in the league. I may talk about that in a separate video, but I could go on for hours about that. But besides him, everybody seems happy. Everybody seems like they want to be there. Everybody seems like they care about each other and they care about winning. And Jacques Vaughn, we had Steve Nash as a fucking coach. First of all, we get what we got. I'm sorry, I jumped around so much. We got rid of Kenny Atkinson, a great coach who helped us get to that 6 and 7 seed with a ragtag group of nobodies, quote unquote, led by D'Angelo Russell. We fire him because the two prima donnas wanted Steve Nash, somebody who's never coached basketball before, and someone also who I think is an overrated basketball player, but that's another video. That's definitely going to be a video. I'll talk about that another time. But someone who's never coached basketball over the guy that took you to the playoffs with nobody, not just the playoffs, the 6 and 7 seed, 2 years straight. I think 3 years straight we went. And then they smartly fired Steve Nash, and we lucked up on Jacques Vaughn, another good coach, another solid coach. Hopefully we stick with him. I like him. He's taking what he got, and he's making it work because we're the 6th seed right now. I believe we can stay there. If the playoffs started today, I believe we would play either Cleveland or Philly. And this might be a little crazy, y'all, but I think if we get hot at the right times and certain people get cold at the right times, I think we could beat both of those teams. I do. I think we could beat both of those teams. Is it highly unlikely? Yeah, but I don't think it's impossible. Mikal Bridges, even though they've been hurt and stuff like that, Mikal Bridges has scored more points than Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving combined since the trade. He's been averaging what did I see in the graphic? 28 points a game since the trade, since he's got to Brooklyn. I mean, he's not meant to be a superstar or anything like that, but he's been playing like it. And this is the right time to be playing like it because it's almost playoff time. And this might be a little crazy too, but like, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth because this isn't gonna happen. But wouldn't it be fucking beautiful if we shocked the world, man? We don't have enough. We're not gonna do it because we need a backup big. We still been trying to figure that out because PLAX damn near be playing 48 minutes and shit. But man, that would make me so happy if this ragtag group of guys that just came together this year won this shit. It's not gonna happen. I know it's not. But they work hard though. They play hard and they believe in each other. And shit, if we keep Cam Johnson, if we keep this team together and maybe just add another star in the offseason or in a trade or something like that, we gonna be a problem because we already a problem. And I don't know. I'm just happy to have this team. I'm just happy to have this restart. Could it have been better? Could we have gotten more? Yeah. But with the circumstances, with KD being the way he is, with Kyrie being the way he is, it was a tough sell either way. It was gonna be tough for us no matter what. But I like this team. And if we could keep this team together going forward and not buy into this superstar bullshit, just grabbing somebody just because his name sounds good, hence Kyrie and KD, putting them together was a bad idea. I did say that when it happened. It's a bad idea because neither of them are leaders on their own. They always needed somebody else to lead for them, and then they followed suit. But those two aren't leaders on their own. They're not champions on their own. Those are videos I'll get into another time. Guys, let me know. I've been talking for a while. Let me know what you think of the 3. Are you glad that it's back? If you watched it before or listened to it before when it was on SoundCloud, are you glad that it's back? What's some stuff that you would like to hear my opinion on? Yeah, that's really it. I love this new Nets team, and I'm happy we got it together. Make sure you check out the RMP podcast. Rick and I talk about not just sports, but a bunch of different stuff. That's another reason the 3 is kind of back, because RMP, we're not a sports podcast. We talk about a slew of different things. We talk about everything. Whatever comes up, we kind of discuss it if we feel like it. If it's sports, that's great, but it's not always sports. It's not always basketball. I love basketball, and I have a lot of hot takes, a lot of stupid takes too. And I would just like to share them with y'all, man. I would like to share them with y'all. But without further ado, this has been the first return episode of the 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ding that notification bell so you know every time I drop a video. And most of all, YouTube. I love you guys. Peace.
It's the 3 on PLAXtv.